Hello Year 11s. Just wanted to make a quick video to help you navigate your way through 4.1 the evaluation, which is the last document that we have to do for you. It's fantastic. I want to just make sure by the end of this video you are very clear about the expectations in terms of work to get a distinction, how it looks in terms of presentation, and how I want it to be sent to me. Okay, just crack on. So in terms of the things to get distinction, uh, the examiner is looking for you to make sure that you talk about the effectiveness of the different aspects of marketing on the enterprise. So all that means, i.e., we made some promotional materials. How effective were they? Did they get to our intended audience? If so, how do you know they did that? So things you would say in this particular bit, you would talk about um, we made some electronic digitally uh, posters, and these digital posters were screensavers on all computers within the school. So everyone has computer lessons in the school, so they all would have seen it. You might then want to talk about how you would develop that if you had time. So things could include, I don't know, putting it on the big screens as we go around the school. Okay, making sure in our daily bulletins you might want to talk about cake sales in there, talk about what you would if you had time to put it in there. In terms of contributions, there's a section on that, but how, if you did it on your own, which most of you did, you're going to say, well, I contributed loads because there was no one else to contribute, it was all me, and you're going to talk about specifically what you did for that. Okay, let's just go on to the structure and how the presentation of it. I do want a border in there. I do want a heading, okay, and call it 4.1 evaluation. I do want subheadings. I've got here the different subheadings that you are going to put in. Now, obviously, okay, I have got some examples here. They might not be the same as yours, okay? I expect them not to be the same as yours because these are not SMART objectives, and you would have talked about SMART objectives. So, for example of that, you would have talked about profit of, I don't know, £200, okay, and you're going to say by when, okay? So the objectives, how you contributed it, and even better if, okay? So I'm not going to talk through all of the different bits because I've written it clearly here. So I've got the kind of things I would expect to see. I've then said how I would expect it to be structured, and then I've got an example in there. Just going to talk about this first objective so you can see, because they're going to be things, because we haven't actually participated in it, it's going to be, I just need to tell you how to think or tackle when it talks about actual. Okay, so in your planning document, you would expect to say that we would produce X amount of cupcakes or cakes. Okay, then what you have to do is what you actually sold. So I would always do it a little bit higher. Okay, so if you said, for example, you were going to do 50 cupcakes, in actual fact, you sold 45. Oh, sorry, 75. All right. So because you sold more, it's going to have the impact of uh, having greater sales. So you might want to say, well, I plan to have 50, okay, but in fact we sold out within, I don't know, 20 minutes. In the last 5 minutes we sold an extra uh, X amount, okay. Because of that, the impact of that would be that we had more sales, okay, but that means that I had to go out the next day in order to get more of the product, okay. So that's all you would say. In terms of cost, if I have a look at the costing, again, if you sold more of a product, it's going to cost you more. Okay. So, and again, that is not a problem, but you're just going to have to make sure that you're very clear in that. Talk about how you set your prices. Let's talk about different pricing strategies. How do you know if was it successful? Okay, so if it was successful, that means that you had lots of sales, which is good. If it wasn't successful, it means that you didn't have lots of sales, and we're going to say that we had lots of sales, so it is going to be successful. Okay, you're going to have to calculate the profit that you made. Okay, so the profit is the cost of it, the cost of the item, take away what you actually receive for it, the difference between those is the profit. Okay. 6 column, how many you've sold. So just the revenue, so how much it was and what money you got for it. So below I've got an example. Okay, so you can visually see what I'm talking about. So you're gonna have to read through. Okay, the example. So and have a look for yourself. So it's not much, but all of that covers that first objective here. Again, just make sure these are just examples, so you're going to have to refer back to your documentation to say what objectives that you made. Okay. Now, I've got another one here. So write a sentence about your service, the frequency of the customer visits, and how they appeared. And just got an example in there. Okay, it doesn't need to be lots, but just you are answering the question. So all you're saying is, was my objective met? Okay, and how did I know it was met? Okay, and thirdly, I've got a few sentences in there, and then I've got an example down the bottom. So that's the first. So what we've just done there, we've just reviewed our 3 objectives. Yours is going to be slightly different to that because yours is going to be smart. And all I want you to do in this section is talk to me about what your objectives were and then how you knew it was met. You might want to also put in there is if you would change it. Is there anything that you would change in those? Okay, you might say no, so you don't have to write anything in there. But if you did want to change it, you just need to justify why that would be. Okay, so contributing to the event. If you worked individually, so you're going to write about I did this, I did this. If you said that you're working in a group, you would just say how you have divided the tasks up and how that went. Was it successful? How do you know it was successful? If it wasn't, do people do things on time? Okay, those kind of things. Okay. Last section in there is how things could have got better. Okay, if you're going to do the event, what kind of things would you take into consideration which you didn't? So I might suggest, so again, I've got an example there of how to answer it. Got lots of words that we need to use, okay? But things like, you might want to talk about different pricing strategies. You might want to talk about free samples, okay, to get more people in. You might want to say about promoting your product more earlier. Okay, so they are kind of factual things, okay, about how you could improve a product. And every business has the same kind of mindset as well. Okay, and that's it. So to review what the expectations are, please make sure that you talk about the effectiveness of marketing. So what marketing stuff you did, okay, and how you could improve that. In terms of your own contribution to the project, what did you do, okay, and how do you know it was effective? And then in terms of presentation, okay, making sure that you've got the correct heading, making sure that you've got subheadings, okay. Please make sure that you save your work in your documents, okay, and I need a copy of it, so send it to me at my email address, which is cnarty@kingsdownschool.co.uk, okay, and good luck. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.